When I wake up, it's the next morning. And why is the bad music? Why hasn't it stopped? I slept in my unit? Okay. That's bad. Oh dear, I slept in my uniform. The last thing I remember was finishing my poem. I only intended to lie down for a moment. I must have been very tired. Or maybe the blood loss is still affecting me. Why is the music still bad? Like, why is it sad? I mean, this isn't so bad compared to last time. I wonder how long it'll take my body to replenish it to normal levels. That's probably a sign that I should have a bigger breakfast today. Or I should have another big breakfast today. As for my uniform, it's precisely the kind of situation when I would normally change into the spare one. But obviously I don't have that option now. The prospect of going to school in it right now is unpleasant. It feels and smells filthy. I know rationally that it isn't that bad. I was only wearing it for a relatively short time. But the knowledge that I slept in it makes my skin crawl. Not for the first time, I wish you could shut off that part of my brain that dwells on these things. And stop imagining how much skin oil and other residues have collected on it. I look at the clock. There isn't time to wash it and still avoid being late for school. I definitely don't want to miss 2 days of school in a row if I can help it. What about... I go to the closet and find a bottle of perfume again. I can at least improve my smell. Anyway, I have no idea how much to use. I just spray my uniform all over. I'll worry about washing my uniform properly on the weekend, when I have more time. That just leaves the decision of what knife to bring today. As I look over my knife rack, my mind drifts back to the events of yesterday and a smile creeps over my face. Attention everyone! I'm making some changes. Oh, we're not taking a knife this time? I am making some changes in my life. Now that I have a friend, I want to see if I can get through the day without you. Sorry. I hope you understand. I'm talking to my knives again. Why do I keep doing that? I should just get ready for school. My time at school makes me conscious of how frequently I reach into my bag. I didn't realize until today how often I compulsively touch the handles of my knives whenever I feel the need for reassurance. But I hold on to my thoughts and memories of my new friendship with Midas, and it helps me get through the day. I'm still feeling fairly good by the time I enter the club. The room is empty except for Sayori, in a seat at the front. Curiously, she doesn't greet me as she normally does. She doesn't even look up. And her mask is off. She isn't even wearing her usual mask. She's letting her sadness show. Oh wait, I said that her mask is... She's wearing a mask, but this time she's not. Stupid me. Normally I wouldn't trouble myself about it. I would just find an isolated seat and start reading my book. But today, new me is going to do something different. I sit in the seat next to Sayori. Sayori, are you alright? The mask is replaced instantly. Oh my goodness. Now that it's seen in that perspective, it's creepy in a way. Hi Yuri, I'm great, thanks. How are you? I wonder if I dare to try to coax her into talking about how she's actually feeling. I'm doing quite well, thank you. Nats, she sniffs the air. Is that a new perfume? Well, technically no. But at least now we know that we don't smell. But I wanted to try something different today. Her mask falters. Are you wearing it for Midas? That honestly hadn't occurred to me. Would that be a bad thing? No, it's great that you want to get close to him. I'd like to see him make as many friends as he can. Nothing would make me Yep, yep, yeah. Oh my goodness, she's crying. The mask crumbles completely and the music is gone. I'm sorry, I should... Sayori, I think I'm supposed to cheer her up in a situation like this, but I'm not sure how to go about it. I know we've never really talked before, but if there's something troubling you, you can confide in me. If you want to. She makes a visible effort to recover her smile. To no avail. That's really sweet of you, Yuri, but it's okay. It's just a little rain cloud. Rain cloud? Oh, of course. A metaphor. How very poetic of you. Thanks. How long has that rain cloud been troubling you? More than I can imagine, I guess. Well, you know, sometimes rain clouds show up. It's okay because they always go away eventually. There's a long pause. Still thinking about how to approach this. Maybe if I reveal a little about myself, it will inspire her confidence in me. It will help inspire her confidence in me. That idea sounds kinda scary, but I remind myself that this is the new me. New me has to be okay with doing scary things sometimes. Sayori, if I may, I'd like to share something with you about myself. Something personal. I frequently feel depressed. I feel this way for a variety of reasons. Partly because of how people treat me at school. Partly because of other difficulties in my life. It's led me to read up about it, and about mental health in general. And I've had occasion to wonder sometimes if you might be suffering from depression as well. Depression? Oh, nothing like that. That makes it sound so serious, because it is serious, Sayori. It is serious. I just get sad sometimes, like everyone does. I'm sorry to hear you feel that way, though. I wish I could make you feel better. It's alright. I deal with it in my own way, even if I'm not very good at it. So do you see a doctor about it? Or what? You should be the one to be seeing the doctor here, Sayori. I mean, we do need a doctor, but you get what I mean. You need to see a doctor too. No, I'm self-diagnosed. Then how do you know you have it? The signs are all there. From what I've read, it's the world's most common mental illness. Yeah? What's it like? What you're feeling right now? Oh my goodness. Well, I'm half tempted to explain the pounding in my head that accompanies the storm, or the overpowering anxiety that makes me unable to interact with people in any normal way. There's so much wrong with me that if I started talking about my problems, I might never stop. But I try to focus on that one feeling. It feels like there's a struggle within me to even do mundane tasks. But I find it hard to muster that motivation to do them. Or because I find it hard to muster the motivation. There are things I want to do, but I can't bring myself to do them. And I can't really explain why. And sometimes it feels like there's no point in trying anymore. Because I'll never be able to leave or to live like everyone else. Because I still have to find some way to keep living. And find reasons to keep going. Even when it feels pointless. Judging from Sayori's face, I think the mask is off. I have to pause to try and control my breathing, the shakiness in my voice. I'm so anxious I can almost hear my heart pounding. And yet at the same time, there's an undeniable sense of relief from finally sharing this. Well, whenever you release that weight from your chest, there's no denying it feels a sense of relief, just like Yuri said. Yuri, yet another new expression. I like it whenever they're so expressive. I think I've had depression my whole life. Thank you. Thank you that you're not hiding from us. And I thought I was the only one who feels that way. Or feels this way. But I don't get it. How can you be depressed? You're so smart and talented. So many reasons. Too many to list right now. It isn't about intelligence. It isn't about emotions. If anything, intelligence just leads to overthinking, which makes the depression worse. Well, you know what they say. The more you know, the sadder you get. How long have you been depressed? I can pinpoint the exact day it started. Okay. Quite a while, I suppose. I'm sorry, I didn't know. If I wasn't so worthless, maybe I could have done something to help. It's alright. If anything, I'm just glad we found out about each other. Yeah, and maybe we can be depression buddies or something. Aww, that's cute. Is it something like being friends? Yes, sure, Yuri. Friends. Just like you and Midas. Oh my goodness, Sayori. I wonder how Sayori will be handled in this mod. Like, it's just established she likes Midas. She likes MC, so I wonder how Yuri will handle this. Suddenly she leans forward, face down on the desk and starts sobbing. I'm more than a little stunned, I don't know how to react. You first, reach your arms in front, and then wrap her, and then just tell her that she's gonna be alright. That's what you're supposed to do, Yuri. I helplessly watch her cry in her seat as she cradles her head in her arms. I should comfort her. I should reassure her. I should do anything but just sit here, doing nothing. I tentatively extend a shaking hand and put it on her shoulder. It feels nothing like the contact with Midas did. Am I doing it wrong? Not necessarily. Try to hug her. I don't know. But now that I've done it, it feels like it would be awkward to take my hand away. Still can't think of what to say. I feel like I'm messing things up. I may even made her feel worse. I may have just lost my friend as soon as I gained her. I hear her murmuring something under her breath over and over again. Sounds like happy thoughts. Finally, without moving her head, she reaches up and squeezes my hand. I'm sorry. She raises her head and starts rapidly wiping her tears away. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to see me like this. I don't want anyone to worry about me. I feel like I've been barely in control today. I even thought of leaving school early, but I didn't want to miss coming to the club. Seeing friends usually keeps the rain clouds away for a little while. Even though if it's us and MC, Sayori, are you sure? And that's why you invited Midas to join the club? She grimaces and nods. He really means a lot to you, doesn't he? She nods again. I thought that helping him make friends would make me happier. But it didn't work. I'm just feeling worse now. Yuri. Did her eyes just widen? Can I tell you a secret? I nod. It's never been this bad before. Rain clouds. They're just getting bigger and bigger. And then they aren't going away. I'm scared, Yuri. That makes me think about... we were getting there. Natsuki, oh my goodness. This just makes me feel that we're going to talk about this down the line. But for now, mask on, let's pretend nothing ever happened. Guys! As Natsuki bursts in, Sayori forces a smile back on her face. What's Monika's favorite food? Huh? What? It's good, you know, hi? Oh, this joke again. I'm utterly bewildered. Why did Natsuki ask the question if she already knew the answer? It's a joke, Yuri. It's in her name. Monika. It's a pun. We didn't receive it well then if we know that it is a pun. Nice play on words. Good one, Natsuki. She's trying to smile. I was just thinking about the festival on the way here and it came to me. So, what were you two talking about? I said it again. I'll say it again rather. Ask on and let's pretend nothing ever happened. Excuse me. Sayori gets up and moves to another seat at the back of the room. That was not a very good attempt. Why? What was that all about? Sayori said it was a secret, so I don't think I should answer. Then what do I say? I think I'll go read my book now. We could have tried to cover for her, but I guess this works too. But seeing as Natsuki and I agreed to write poems about the beach, I think that our chance of friendship has been down a bit. As I turned away to find another seat, I catch a glimpse of a confused, hurt look on Natsuki's face. Oh, we left her hanging! Once I'm seated again, I glance at her over my book, but she's back to her usual sour expression. Her usual tsundere expression. She goes to the closet to retrieve some manga. I can't help feeling badly about how I handled things today. Or how I'm handling things today. I may have made Sayori feel worse and I may have ruined my newfound truce with Natsuki. I'm feeling the absence of my knife more in this moment than I have all day. Social situations are already confusing enough to navigate when there aren't secrets involved too. I may just have to make up some social skills as I go along. For now, I need this moment to de-stress myself by reading my book. Just then, Monika and Midas entered the room one after the other. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and picking up piano? Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. Natsuki has a real habit of barging into conversations, doesn't she? I feel frustrated. Part of my frustration is with Natsuki's interruptions. Though it's hard to stay mad at her, and she's smiling for once. Mostly, I'm feeling frustrated with myself. I can barely be sociable when I'm talking to one person. Where there's more than one, I don't have a chance. I've lost the thread of the conversation already, but I need to focus on controlling my features and my breathing to hide what I'm feeling. I'm sure that the frustration would be an inappropriate emotion to show right now. I wonder if I should try talking to Sayori again. She seemed like she had something important to say, and if if the way she feels is anything like how I feel, I would be worried if she might think of hurting herself. Believe me, Yuri, she did something more than just hurt herself. So please try to stop her from doing that. But of course, I know she wouldn't do that. Whatever is troubling her, she's obviously nowhere near as broken as I am. I wouldn't say that you're more broken, but you're just as broken as Sayori. She has her own little storm too, I guess. I mean, judging from Yuri's current situation, I guess I give Yuri the point, but I tend to see them as equals since all the girls have equal problems. Or at least that's how I see them, regardless if it's a mod or the original game. Just wanted to let that out. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me? Where is Sayori anyway? By the window. Oh, there you are. Midas walks over to where Sayori is sitting at the back of the room. Oh, I suppose I should have expected that. What are we thinking? The woebegone... Is that how you pronounce that? The woebegone look on her face is painfully obvious, even from a distance. She's so visibly lost in her thoughts that Midas has to wave his hand in front of her face to get her attention. I become conscious of the fact that I've spent too long watching them. I should get back to my book, or at least pretend to. As much as I enjoy watching people invariably accuse me of staring and calling me creepy. I really haven't made much headway in my reading lately. I've been too distracted these past few days, and today is no different. Today I've confirmed what I've always suspected. Sayori is depressed and no one knows about it. This is an interesting thing that Yuri knows. I wonder how we will handle it down the line. So on some level it feels good that for once I'm more socially aware about something than everyone else. But at the same time I do feel bad for Sayori's predicament. I know well what it's like to have a sense of nameless dread eating away at me. I wish I could have talked to her some more, but it's probably just as well. Since Midas will obviously know better than what to say to her than what I would. Than I would rather. And they're so close. She'd be far more likely to confide in him than me. In fact, seeing how concerned he looks for her, I wonder. Could he have romantic feelings for her? In fact, now that I think about it, during our conversation today, Sayori seemed saddest when she talked about Midas. Could she be that she has romantic feelings for him too? The thought makes me feel something unpleasant. Is this jealousy? Now that I remember, I felt it on the first day I met Midas. I felt that when Sayori was hugging Midas. And I also felt that when Monika tried to talk to him about helping me out with the tea. Does this mean, do I have romantic feelings for Midas? Suddenly all my emotions are in turmoil as I contemplate this. That would suggest that I was feeling That would suggest that I was feeling it right from the first time I met him. Could it have been love at first sight? That sounds like something out of a children's book. I thought it was just a myth, and yet I wonder. My mind is racing with possibilities. Could my friendship with Midas develop into a romantic relationship? Could it? The thought makes me feel simultaneously terrified and exhilarating. That thought makes me simultaneously terrifying and exhilarating. I've never seriously contemplated being in such a relationship with someone. It's nice to fantasize about this sometimes, but it's the same as friendship in that it's just something that other people do, or maybe characters in my books. But now, I feel like I'm closer to having it than I've ever been in my life. Suddenly, I'm conscious of the fact that I'm gripping my book too hard. I'm going to damage it if I'm not careful. I take some deep breaths, trying to calm myself, trying to regain my focus. I don't really know how I would go about pursuing romance. I don't even know how to pursue friendship. I guess I shall have to look to Midas for clues about what to do next. Well, if friendship and relationships have one thing in common, it's a two-way thing. You can't be happy if one is unhappy. I glance at him again. He's talking to Monika now. They're both repeatedly looking at Sayori with concerned expressions. It's obvious that they're talking about her. Wow, we're this aware. Now Monika's going over to talk to Sayori. That's good, she'll know what to say. I feel reassured that Sayori is in good hands. As for Midas, he's taken a seat by himself. He looks like he's deep in thought. I really hope that he would come to talk to me like he has in the past few days. But it's easy to guess why he didn't. He's thinking about Sayori, and with that, all thoughts of romance with him evaporate. I feel silly for having considered it. Obviously, if he had to choose, he would go with his lifelong friend instead of me. That's okay though, right? Because he and I are still friends. I just have to remind myself that I'm lucky to have him as a friend. So I suppose that means I should try to be the best friend that I can be. And perhaps that means helping Midas and Sayori get together. Even if it hurts a bit. We're trying to be Cupid even though it hurts. An unmistakable wave of sadness passes over me as I think about it. But it's okay. I'm long used to dealing with pain. Why do I have a feeling that this isn't like the pain that we felt before? Like, it's new to us, it's foreign. I steel myself for what I know will probably be a difficult conversation with Midas. That is, if he ever gets around to talking to me. Just as I'm thinking that, he looks over at me. Our eyes meet, and I become conscious of the fact that I've been staring at him the whole time. I turn my attention back to my book, trying to look inconspicuous. But I have trouble hiding how anxious I'm feeling as he walks over and takes a seat next to mine. Now, I don't need to bother you or anything. Or I don't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How were you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot. So it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. Someday, I will learn to be more discreet. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if it caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are the only concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Like a friend. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. And it's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah. She seems a bit off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if I did something wrong, or if something happened to her. Oh, that's quite romantic. Judging by his expression, that was the wrong thing to say. Sorry, I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that. I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I had just been friends for a long time, that's all. I see. He's talking about his friendship as if he precludes the possibility of it developing into romance. And what could mean if Sayori didn't tell him how he feels? I'll have to be careful about how I approach this. This might be something that she wants to keep secret from him. Perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into this a little bit too much. Midas, the world is full of meaning, often deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think that there might be something behind it after all? Careful. I think that Sayori's a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too, and I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? I watched his reaction closely. Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori. I find I can't quite make eye contact with him now. She really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it in that way. You don't need to put it in that way. So, are we dismissing the romantic possibility? Or just good friends, that's all. He's so insistent about saying they're friends. Could I be wrong about his romantic feelings? In any case, you're very wrong. I look closely at him again, looking for some sign either way. It could be that, like me, his feelings are buried so deeply, he doesn't fully know what he's experiencing. Or perhaps he just doesn't want to admit how he feels to me. I wish there was some way for me to know for sure. He turns away from me, looking embarrassed. It's possible I'm spending too long staring at him again. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. I know it's going to hurt to say this, but I have to say it. That is, I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. I don't know if he even cares about how I feel about it, but at least he knows that he has my blessing if he wants to pursue her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. It's clear that he wants to drop the subject, so I oblige. I'm not sure about how I feel about the resolution of this conversation. It makes me feel preoccupied as I prepare tea for ourselves. It makes me forget to object when he chooses seats for us. But at least I'm sure I'm sitting on his left this time. And I find that if I angle myself inwards toward him a little, I can avoid accidental contact with my injured breast. Oh yeah, our boob is still stitched because we have a wound. It also brings my right leg in contact with his left, but I'm too preoccupied to fully enjoy the contact between our legs. As we sit, with the book between us, my thoughts and emotions swirl inside of me. I value my friendship with Midas, I really do. I shouldn't feel like a sense of loss if he wants Sayori more than me. And yet, I can't help feeling a sense of desire to have him all to myself. Am I being selfish? Is it wrong for me to feel this way? I can't tell which is worse, the feeling of loss or the feeling of guilt. If Sayori is feeling the same way, then I think I fully understand why she is so upset. Wouldn't it be wrong for me to take Midas away from her? I don't know what to do. I think it's time to reassess my situation, priorities and options. Option 1. Confess to Midas that I have romantic feelings toward him. This could result in forever life-changing experiences that are beyond my comprehension, but I don't actually know how he feels about me, so I may end up just making a fool out of myself, and it could ruin my friendship with him and Sayori. In any case, it would end any chances of him finding happiness with her, or it could end. Option 2. I remain friends with Midas and help him get together with Sayori. This could help Sayori get out of her depression spiral that she's in. I think that it would make her feel good, or it will make me feel good rather, knowing that I've helped her. And I would be able to remain friends with her. And a second friend would obviously be twice as wonderful. But would I be able to deal with this jealousy that I'm feeling with every day? It might poison whatever friendship that I have with either of them. Would I be able to put that feeling behind me? I don't know. I don't have enough experience with these emotions to predict my own reactions. There's so much uncertainty in either of these choices, with obvious possible benefits and drawbacks to both. I need a third option. And what would that be? Option 3. I don't make any intentions obvious either way, and I wait for Midas to make a decision, or at least reveal his own intentions. In some ways, this feels like the most sensible option, but I don't know how long I'll be able to keep these emotions beneath the surface. And if they get any stronger, I think they might eat me alive. I feel like I want to move things forward in some way. I don't like all of this uncertainty. I think I need to start doing a lot more disclosure about myself to help Midas make a decision, and in so doing, help me make a decision. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I feel like this is the best option. I summon up all my courage and get ready to talk to Midas. But when I look over at him, I stop myself when I see the intense expression on his face. And why is that? He's so focused on reading that there are visible beads of sweat breaking out of his forehead. He must be really into the book. I can't blame him. This is the good part. I suppose I'll just have to talk to him later. Maybe when we're sharing poems. And here we are, as if on cue. Okay everyone. Monika always has a very affectionate way of saying that phrase. It's enough to pull me out of the deepest reverie. Why don't we share our poems now? As Midas is putting the book away, I realize something. My right breast has been partially obscuring his view of the book the whole time when we were reading. I hope it didn't bother him. I suppose I can take it as a sign of his kindness that he didn't complain about it. But it makes me all the more nervous about all the sharing I'm about to do. I feel my heart pounding as I mentally and emotionally prepare myself for it. And yeah, we even have a poem dedicated to just Midas. I just keep telling myself that it will be okay. And I get interrupted by Midas handing me his poem. I suppose my sharing can wait for a bit. His poem is as delightful as I've come to expect from him. A giddy smile crosses my face and stares there the whole time I'm reading it. I particularly like the part where he made a rhyme with effulgent. I don't know which one is right. A contented sigh escapes me as I hand it back to him. Midas, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me so far has been nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Eerie, that's the wrong way to put it. It never did come naturally to me. But I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing for. Is that so? At the moment, I don't think I could stop smiling even if I tried. That's good. It'll make this conversation easier. This feeling. I'm so glad I got to share with my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you've never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, I feel my smile falter. I know I'm about to touch on some very painful topics. Midas, during lunchtime I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say that I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are so full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with. Or people you just know would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face. Or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day. You know? I hesitate. I suppress the encroaching wave of sadness I feel coming. And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type. And they don't hit me. Wait a minute. I was expecting that her bullies would, hurt her by words, but they hit her? And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all, Midas. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I'm determined to keep this smile on my face. With this kind of a topic, I think that's impossible. I'm not going to give in to the sadness. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to think about my knives. I have to share this with him. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings. All I can do with them is read, write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing with you that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. It's all coming out. All my insecurities. It feels incredibly emotionally draining to say all of this out loud, but I can't stop now. I know I'm a difficult person, Midas. I speak too slowly. I second guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things, but every time, you've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. That's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Will I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri? And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends. And I would say I've had at least one success. Wouldn't you? Focus, focus, focus. Keep breathing, keep breathing. It's okay. I feel like I just died a little, but it's okay. Out of sadness or out of joy? Cause I'll be happy. In this situation, being friends is still— oh yeah, we're trying to realize that it's more than just friends that we want. Being friends is still a good thing, right? A week ago, I didn't even know what it was like to have a friend. Here we are trying to realize what we really feel for MC. I just have to keep reminding myself that this is a good thing. So it wouldn't be right for me to feel like crying right now. No, Yuri. Anyway, this is what I agreed with myself to do. Midas has made his intentions clear. He and I are friends, and I should let go of this silly dream of romance. I have a feeling we won't be able to do that. If you put it that way, yeah, we really are friends now, aren't we? Despite myself, I feel tears welling up in my eyes. I desperately hide my face in my hands so he doesn't see. I'm determined to keep my smile on my face. Do you want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Turning away from him to face my bag gives me an opportunity to collect myself. Keep calm. Keep breathing. Act normal, act normal. It's okay, it's okay. Everything is going to be okay. My hand shakes slightly as I bring out my special poem that I wrote for Midas. I still can't quite bring myself to look at him as I hand it to him. And he's reading it. My thoughts swirl around inside me again. Did I do something wrong? Did I share too much? Did I share it too early? Or was it inevitable that he would have no romantic interest in me? I just feel like I just experienced a missed opportunity. Even though I don't know for sure if there was an opportunity to begin with. I'm having trouble recollecting my thoughts. Or reconciling my feelings, rather. It isn't exactly pleasant. But it isn't truly a sense of loss either. I still have a friend. I value him, and he values me. There's still more than I've ever had before. Most importantly, whatever I'm feeling doesn't seem to be evoking the desire to cut myself. So I suppose I can take that as a good sign. That thought, in itself, helps me breathe more easily. And just how does he feel about Sayori? I feel like I haven't confirmed that. Suddenly I became aware that Midas is handing the phone back to me. Did he decide he doesn't want it? We haven't said that he can keep it, so that's up to us to say that. I find it harder than ever to make eye contact. Do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just really don't know how should I respond. Somewhere within my swirling thoughts, I remember that he hasn't shown himself to be very good at interpreting the meanings of my poems. I try to recall the giddy feeling I had when I wrote it yesterday, but it feels so far away from me, my confused jumble of emotions right now, that I doubt I could put it into words. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one. I glance at this direction. Does it truly understand what it means to me? Does this one mean a lot to you? I nod. I can't seem to find my voice. I'm not really good with words, but I'm really happy that you shared it with me. So thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. I hope so too. Why can't I say the words? I just smile. It's all I can manage. Why is he still handing it to me? Right, I forgot to tell him that the poem is a present. Finally realized. It's like my voice has stopped working. I will have to try to communicate non-verbally. I reach both hands toward him. I take his hands in mine. Oh, okay. The time I spend holding his hand seems to stretch to eternity, or it might actually be only a few seconds. The energy that is seemingly crackling between us seems to be slowly rejuvenating me. He still looks confused as I gently but firmly push his hands, still holding the poem back toward him. You can... the poem is... You mean I can keep it? I nod. I'd love to. He'd love to. Those words, my jumbled thoughts straightened out a little. I became increasingly conscious of how long I've gone without speaking, while holding MC's hands nonetheless. There's still a lot that I want to say to him, that I doubt I'll ever get the chance to express. But I'll settle for the most important thing for now. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Finally feel calm enough to properly turn back toward him. I guess we should move on before Monika says something. But I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. As he is putting my gift away, I go back to my bag to pull up my beach poem. Sayori! She's still sad. I wonder how we'll talk to Sayori, like... She was about to confess why she was sad a while ago, but then Natsuki just had to barge in. I approach Sayori. She still looks downcast. I don't know if I can handle another emotionally draining conversation right now. But I remember my commitment to my friend. I try to summon up what energy I can. Hi Sayori. Are you feeling any better? She doesn't look better if you ask me. She shrugs. She speaks in a low monotone. Everyone keeps asking if I'm okay. First you, then Midas, and then Monika. And I'm the one that's supposed to be cheering people up, not the other way around. It's bittersweet that people want to try, but it doesn't feel right. Bittersweet. That's a good word to describe the way I feel about my conversation with Midas. I shouldn't have come today. Everything's just getting worse and worse. Yuri, is there anything that helps? Like, what do you do when you're depressed? I cut myself, and that's not very good advice. But I can't say that. What should I say instead? She looks like she's looking at me hopefully and expectantly. I would feel hypocritical, recommending she sees me as a doctor, when I have trouble doing it myself, or recommending she take medication. I've always been uncomfortable with the idea of taking antidepressants. The idea of taking something that changes the way I think can feel is unappealing to say the least. Because it raises all kinds of philosophical questions about what is really me. But I don't know how to articulate all of this. And several seconds have passed, and she's still waiting for my answer. She's crying! I'm sorry, Sayori, I don't have an answer for you. Oh. look of hope visibly dies. Oh, well, maybe I should just read your poem. Of course. I hand her my poem and she reads it without any change in her downcast expression. She hands it back to me without looking at me. It's nice, Yuri. It's nice. An awkward silence hangs between us. I'm still racking my brain for something to say. One thing that helps me is writing. Externalizing my emotions and capturing them on paper helps me analyze them and understand myself. I'm wondering if that is something you might find helpful. Without hesitation, Sayori shakes her head. You seem surprisingly certain that it wouldn't help. Yuri, I have a confession to make. I didn't write a poem for today. Oh no. I mean, I tried. I sat down to write it. But when I tried to write about my feelings, I just ended up crying all evening yesterday. Were you thinking about Midas? The words we're out of mouth. Sorry. Oh my goodness. The words were out of my mouth before I realized it. I guess I'm still thinking of setting them up together. When she doesn't reply, I press on. You know, Midas and I are friends. Just friends. I finally understand what Monika meant when she used that phrase. I let my words hang in the air between us, hoping Sayori picks up on the meaning. Whether she does or not, I can't tell. But she still isn't replying. Maybe I ask how you feel about him? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. Well, then perhaps that's extra reason to talk to Midas about it. She shakes her head again. I just wish things could go back to the way they were. Why can't they? He doesn't even want to walk home with me after school. He doesn't? I thought you walk home together every day. He'd rather go with... Never mind. I should go. We should move on now. Very well. She walks away with a glassy-eyed expression. I have no idea what to make of this. Could I have handled it better? In any case, it's time to go to Monika. Monika is smiling as usual, but there's an unmistakable tension about her. Hi, Yuri. Have you been having a good day? You could say today is bittersweet for me. Anything you want to talk about? Well, let's just say it's had some ups and downs. I'm not sure how to feel about it yet. Alright then, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. In the meantime, here's my poem for today. She presents me with her poem entitled The Lady Who Knows Everything. Coming from Monika, that title feels a bit creepy. It's about an ominous lady with these decidedly cynical views. It conveys a feeling that knowing everything has removed her sense of purpose in life. Is this about the epiphany again? Is it? Maybe. It's sounding like the knowledge you've gained from it has made you lose hope. Is that right? Well, I have to be careful how I answer that one. Don't get me wrong, I believe that learning and seeking answers are what give life meaning. I never want to stop learning. But at the same time, I can't help thinking about the saying ignorance is bliss. In a sort of way, I envy you for not knowing what I know. Because I learned something that was rather disheartening. I recall Monika's previous two poems, imagining how this one might fit in context. The first one conveys a feeling of being trapped. The second, a feeling of torment. The tone of this one doesn't sound any better. I realize I'm spacing out again, but Monika doesn't seem to notice. She looks over at where Sayori is talking to Midas. Well, I happen to value knowledge and learning very highly. So it would seem that we're on the same page, as it were, in that respect. I admit I can't imagine what you could possibly have learned that could be as life-changing as it sounds, yet not worth learning. Can you at least tell me? Has your situation improved since we last spoke? It's hard to say. Really, I'm just doing what has to be done. I guess you could say I'm seeing signs of progress. And right now, it's just a matter of waiting and seeing what happens. And I'm glad to hear it. I hope things work out for you, Monika. Thanks. How about I take a look at your poem now? I hand her my poem and she reads it. That's different. She hands it back to me. I see you decided to be a little more philosophical today. And then again, so did I. I guess we're just in that kind of mood. Though I have to say, I wouldn't have thought the beach is your style. But it wasn't exactly my idea. It wasn't? Natsuki and I decided to write about the same topic to see how our styles compare. It was her idea, I just went along with her request. I was under the impression that the two of you don't get along well. Surprise, surprise, Monika. Well, I'm not really sure what the present state of Natsuki's feelings are about me is. I wouldn't say that we're close, in fact. I would say that our relationship is tumultuous at best. Tumultuous, sorry. Which is why I felt it important to go along with this exercise to build better relations. Especially after your fight the other day? Yes. Well. It seems like there's more to you than I expected. Thanks for sharing, Yuri. You always manage to make things entertaining. Thanks. That was a rather curious choice of words, but in any case, it seems like we're all done now. It's time to move on to Natsuki. I wonder if I should apologize for earlier, or at least try to explain. Or would that make things even more awkward? I just wish that, just once, I could approach her without feeling nervous. Natsuki? I'm sorry for earlier. I didn't mean to make you feel neglected. Nah, it's fine. I should have realized that you and Sayori were having a moment or whatever. I'm kind of realizing that I act immature sometimes. But it's understandable considering that you're the youngest one in the club. Thanks for reminding me. I think that was sarcasm. Anyway, the point is I shouldn't have barged in like that, so... I'm sorry. I think that's the first time I've ever heard Natsuki use that word. Thank you. I accept your apology. And I hope we can continue to develop the rapport we established yesterday. Sure, Yuri. How about we have some rapport with our poems now? She hands me her poem entitled I'll Be Your Beach. It describes the beach in idolized terms as a place of beauty, and it gives strong hints of a romantic liaison. It makes me ache with longing all over again to know what it's like to experience that. And it also makes me curious about Natsuki's romantic life. I wonder if that would be too personal of a question to ask. But then again, I seem to be on a roll with personal questions lately. Well done, Natsuki. There's some very vivid imagery here. Hey, thanks! Your poem evokes some rather romantic feelings. Is it a reflection of your own experience? Oh, Geez, we have to get there. Do you have to go there? Not exactly, I mean. It's nice to dream, you know? Not all of us get to have cozy up to whoa, okay! She just say it out loud. Not all of us get to cozy up to Midas, right? Sticking your boobs in his face was a neat trick. I wish I could do that. Oh my goodness. Not that I was staring at you two or anything. This conversation is taking a very uncomfortable turn, especially since she stated our boobs again. That was unintentional, I swear. Sure, Yuri. Well, anyway, Midas and I are just friends. If anything, I'd say that romance would be more likely between Midas and Sayori. Really? That's a rather gossipy thing for me to say, and probably inappropriate. I want to turn the conversation away from myself. Yes, well, I can't say for certain, but the way they talk about each other seems to indicate they feel very strongly about one another. Yeah, now that you mention it, I guess I can see that. And they've known each other for a while, right? Who knows what they get up to when no one's around? Maybe they even... Never mind, I don't want to picture that. So anyway, how about I read your poem now? I hand her my poem. A smile comes over her face as she reads it. I knew it! You couldn't resist making it fancy. And you really like the word tendrils, don't you? I feel nervous again. Does she mean that in a negative way? It's okay, I like it, it's good. I'm just glad we got the chance to do this. I feel relieved. Better than relieved, actually. Perhaps this can be the start of a more positive relationship with Natsuki. I think back to my earliest impressions of her. How erratic she seemed. How much I wondered what her personal story was. I imagined myself getting closer to find out, even though it seemed impossible. Just how do normal people navigate social situations like this? How did my friendship with Midas start? You think he just declared us friends? And that was it? Is that how it works? Can we be friends? I freeze, terrified. I'm sure that was the wrong thing to say, and I'm pretty sure we said that without thinking. Panic spreads through me. I'm already cursing myself for that mental lapse. Whoa, Yuri, I'm a little weirded out right now. I'm sorry. I start fidgeting uncontrollably with my hair. I didn't mean it, I take it back. We just said can we be friends, and now we're taking it back? I'm just making a fool out of myself. Oh no. No. We were supposed to have a good day. We left our knives at home. This is how it starts. This is how it always starts. People call me weird, and then comes laughing at me, and then taunting me, and then things I don't want to talk about, or think about rather. I thought I could be safe here, but I ruined it now. Everything's ruined forever. Oh no! Well, I'm just thankful we didn't bring a knife today. I hate myself. I want to punish myself for being so stupid. My mind fills with images of all of the knives in my collection, of all the things I want to do with them. Yuri, will you quit freaking out? Seriously, get a grip on yourself before people start staring at us. I didn't say no, okay? Jeez. Get a grip. I grip my forearm. I grip it hard until it hurts. I'm still shaking. I'm still struggling to control my breathing. But at least Natsuki slapped us awake. But it wasn't as bad as it was a few seconds ago. Maybe I should get Natsuki to slap me every time I feel like this. Her words are slowly filtering their way into my mind. Does this mean things are okay? Natsuki is looking nervously around the room. Look, what's your Aww. Are we gonna set up like a hangout or some sort? What's your phone number? Her question catches me off guard. I never actually use my phone. I only have it around for emergencies, but I do have a number memorized just in case. I stammer out the number to her as she enters it in her own phone. Wait, I'll text you later. Okay. Just try to relax. And with that, she walks away without looking at me. What's she gonna text? I'm left standing there, still trying to recover my composure. What just happened? I'm very confused. Okay, you three. Monika's voice rings out from the front of the room. There's something disconcerting about it. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out? And hold on a second. Is it me or did you say something strange just now? Eh? Something did sound a bit unusual. You three. Not everyone. Not okay, everyone. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Perhaps that's why Natsuki was forgiving of my weird behavior. It seems like I'm not the only source of weirdness today. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, baby. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. It seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just wanted to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. That just slipped out. All things considered, I probably shouldn't be antagonizing Natsuki. Oh, come on. Actually, she wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No! First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh? That almost slipped out. I think I'm still too agitated right now to even control or try to control my reactions. What could signify that Sayori is avoiding Midas? How does it factor with my plan to get them together? You're gonna fail? I think that's the thing. I suppose she just wants to take some time to sort out her thoughts and come to terms with her feelings. That's something we can identify with. Let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I am doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them in different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can... There's a long pause that hangs heavily in the air. A painful reminder how incapable I am of contributing to a social environment. Or social event, rather. Guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? Does she have to make it so obvious, so public? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. I don't know who she thinks she's fooling, telling such an obvious lie. Now I'm imagining myself at the festival, feeling even more out of place than usual. No! Feelings of dread are creeping in. This festival was already unappealing to me. But somehow the fact that everyone else in the club is going to be carrying the whole event without me feels worse. So Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know? You should make some banners and decorations to help set up the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that? I try to pull myself out of despair. The despair I'm feeling to grasp on to what Monika is saying. I love atmosphere. That was probably a weird thing to say, but right now I don't care. This could be just what I need, an artistic project. A chance to occupy my thoughts and keep them away from unsavory ideas. Banners and decorations, she said. The image immediately comes to mind. A huge banner across the front of the room with a literary quote across it. It's a little obvious, or that's a little obvious, but it's a start. If I'm going to create an atmosphere that promotes a love of literature, then I'll have to convey what it feels like to lose myself in my imagination. The image comes to mind of a fateful night, or that fateful night, 2 days ago, when my room was filled with scented candles. Both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. Monika is giving Midas a choice? Dare I hope that he chooses me? Once again, I'm visiting Midas' house, like friends do. Or I'm imagining visiting Midas' house, like friends do. And then I can cook and clean for him, like it does for Sayori. I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. But even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give you. It's not like Monika's gonna give me a choice. And you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. That doesn't sound very nice for MC. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Midas may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. No, hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? I can't help feeling affronted that she would suggest my task is easy. Sounds more like you're making excuses for Midas to... What are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work, and Monika's worried that we're gonna fight again. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, it's up to Midas to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? I can't help, it's so adorable. I feel a resurgence of jealousy at the idea of Monika trying to take Midas away. So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Midas, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, there's a pause, during which Monika, Natsuki, and I look at Midas. I feel bad for him, for how he's being put on the spot like this. I know I wouldn't like this kind of attention if it was on me. The more time passes, the less certain I am that he'd want to spend time with me. I imagine that he would probably want to spend time with Sayori, his close friend and possible love interest. Or perhaps Monika, since she just asked him. She's so popular. I'll bet he'd definitely find her company delightful. Even Natsuki might be preferable company to me. Even Natsuki might make preferable company to me, now that I think of it. Everyone seems to love her cupcakes. I suddenly feel very inadequate next to all of the competition. I don't even know why I considered myself a possibility. Just wishful thinking, I suppose. All that's left to see is which of the other girls he does choose. Surprise, Yuri! Well, I'll probably be most useful helping out Yuri. Me? I should probably feel elated, but all I feel is a strange sense of emotional turbulence within me. Are you serious? Oh, why would you... Natsuki, I can already tell that you're about to say something mean. No! I was just saying... So you'll be helping Yuri then, Midas? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Is this real? Is this really happening? Stay calm, stay focused. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things, so I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said that I would be fine. Okay. Natsuki is visibly perturbed. Was it really that important to her to have company while making cupcakes? I can't help feeling guilty about taking Midas away from her, even though it wasn't exactly my choice. So, is that everything we needed to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? My emotions are still feeling very confused. Well, excited might not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Midas? Me? I guess you could say that I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki still looks upset. Natsuki? That came out more loudly than I intended. What? No, why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. Then I guess that's equivalent to you slapping us. We just woke you up. No, that's not what I meant at all. Why did I get this sudden impulse to try to cheer her up? Why didn't I wait until everyone else left? It makes me feel anxious, having everyone's eyes on me. But now that I've started speaking, I feel like I have to see this through. No, I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Midas picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. I hope no one noticed that I never actually had any cupcakes. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that. So, I don't know what else to say. I'm not good at this. So, I get it. I'm kinda surprised though. Why? Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that. She gives me a meaningful look. But you're trying your best to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm embarrassed I look away from her. I'm sorry if I said something bad. No, I kinda appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing. There's that word again. She apologized to me again. Even though she didn't really have anything to apologize for. I can't help gazing at her in wonder. Up until now, I've only known her as a hostile little girl. It seems like the evidence I've always wondered about, that there is more to her than there seems to be on the surface. But I'm going to say this. What? You better bet that my cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event. I believe in you. Natsuki and I smile at each other. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today rather. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I try to catch Midas' eye, hoping he'll notice me. But he just seems to be spacing out, not paying attention to anything in particular. I still feel awkward approaching him, but I don't see how we're going to be able to work on the decorations together if we don't talk to each other. He's walking out the door behind Monika and Natsuki. I start to panic. If I don't do anything now, or don't say something now, I'll miss my chance. Sorry, I realized that I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best way. Yes. Alright then. Midas and I exchange phone numbers. For the first time in my life, I have the phone number of a non-family member stored in my phone. It feels quite exciting. Okay. Then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one helping. Or I'll be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. I feel a little foolish for not considering that. But now that I think about it, the idea of having him over at my house makes me uncomfortable. I'm sure it would lead to all kinds of different questions like, why is there a full display of colorful knives on the wall? I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Alright, in that case that won't be a problem. I hope I can manage to make myself useful in some way. I'm not nearly as creative as you. There he is, being modest as usual. Don't underestimate yourself, Midas. I think we'll make a very productive team. Even if you only chose me because you felt bad or something. Wait! You don't actually think that, do you? I hesitate considering how desirable his other possible choices were. It's hard to see any appeal in choosing me. I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I chose you because that's what I want to do. But is he implying that he's doing this for some reason other than pity? Making decorations doesn't seem really like something that normal people would enjoy. But then again, I frequently have to second guess my own assumptions about what normal people do. Maybe this is one of those times. You're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out that when you're overthinking, right? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? I look into his eyes. I want to believe him. I want to believe that there's someone who genuinely wants to spend time with me. Despite all my faults. Despite the fact that he has alternatives who are more attractive and likable and more pleasant and fun to be around. But like he said, I'm overthinking things. I realized that he didn't actually deny that he's doing this out of pity. I believe you! After all, wanting to spend time with me isn't mutually exclusive with pity. I just have to make the most of being a pity case. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. What was supposed to be like the second day of our change, of our new life, is melancholic. I'm still trying to shake off the melancholy feeling I was just experiencing and remind myself about the positive. In 2 days, I'll be over to my friend's house. And with that thought, I can't help smiling all the way home. As I enter my room, I pull out my phone to send Midas a message. I never sent a text message before. I have mixed feelings about it. On one hand, I appreciate the opportunity to communicate through writing. But on the other, it feels rather clunky, typing out sentences on the keypad on this flip phone of mine. I probably should have gotten something with a keyboard or touchscreen, but I never really expected to actually use it. So I just went with the cheapest option. What do I even say? Should I send formal pleasantries or something like that? Should I discuss details of my plans? But of course I'm overthinking things. I should start with the basics of where and when we're meeting. I sent a message confirming his address and when I should be there. Looking over at my message, it might be a little more apologetic than it needs to be, but it will suffice. I put my phone back in my bag. Next, I search solidify details of what kind of decorations we'll be making. Suddenly, I hear a strange buzzing sound. I look around the room, I don't hear it anymore. I don't know what it was. She doesn't even know what a ringtone is. Anyway, I'm going to need supplies, and it'll be nice to have a comprehensive list before I go shopping. There it is again. What is that noise? Check your phone, Yuri! I look around again, but I can't figure out where it came from. Was it an insect? It was only there for a second. Check your damn phone, Yuri! It was a rather low buzz. It would have to be a very large insect. I hear it a third time. Now I'm sure it came from my bag. When I investigate, I realize that it was my phone! Could Midas have replied already? I look at my phone and see that I have received 3 text messages, all from the same number. But they aren't from Midas. I don't recognize the number. It's Natsuki. Confused, I open them to read them. The first says, "Hey." The second says, "How are you?" The third says, "Want to hang out tomorrow?" I'm more than a little baffled. I never received messages on this phone before. Could they be some kind of junk messages or spam? Is that something that people receive on their phones sometimes? Please, Yuri, please realize that it's Natsuki. Just as I make the decision to delete them, the phone suddenly vibrates in my hand. She is calling! Answer! It startled me so much, I almost dropped it. There's a fourth message from the same... Oh, it's not the call, but it's another message. There's a fourth message from the same number. It says it's Natsuki. I stare at my phone for a long moment. I was not prepared for this development. All kinds of implications are running through my head. She did say she was gonna text me, and that was in the context of a question about friendship. Is this her wanting to spend time with me as friends? Yes, Yuri! The thought starts my heart racing even more so than the thought of spending time with Midas did. I always feel anxious in Natsuki's company, even at the best of times. What would it be like to be in her company away from school? Oh yeah! From the original game, it went from Friday, skip to Sunday. And now we're gonna see what the Saturday looks like. In that case, what the Saturday is from Yuri's eyes. It sounds scary. Just as I'm thinking that, my phone vibrates again and I really do drop it this time. Fortunately, it appears to be undamaged when I pick it up. I mean, it's an old phone. It's a flip phone, so It's said on the Kia, but I'm pretty sure that's very durable. There's another message from Natsuki. I hope I don't get charged for receiving text messages. I don't actually know what my phone plan is. The message says, we could have lunch at Salvador Mall. I feel a little calmer at the message. Having lunch sounds non-threatening. In fact, considering how often I eat alone, having company while I eat could be quite pleasant. I carefully compose my reply, trying to be straightforward and not overthinking it. My message says, Hi Natsuki, I'm fine, thank you. I will be delighted to have lunch with you tomorrow at the mall. I double-check my message for errors before sending it. I then carefully place my phone on my bed, unwilling to risk another mishap if it startles me again. I stand there, watching my phone, waiting. You could write something or do something else while you wait for a reply, Yuri. I'm sure that any second Natsuki will respond anytime now. My phone vibrates again. I pick up to see another message. It's from Midas. He just sent me his address and a time to meet. Having more than one friend is confusing. My phone vibrates again, but this time I'm ready for it. I quickly hug it to my chest to stop myself from dropping it. It seems to vibrate my whole body. When I look at it, it's another message from Natsuki. Aww, it says, cool, see you then, happy face. Well, now that that's settled, I can focus on my plans with Midas again. A quick search online shows that there's an art supply store at the mall. That would be convenient. I can do my shopping there after eating lunch with Natsuki. Or better yet, let's do shopping together. I hope that crosses our mind. Browsing their website, I see that they have everything I need. In fact, the site gives me other ideas. It has all kinds of displays of artwork and decorations. Once my shopping list is complete, I consider splitting up the purchase evenly between me and Midas. But that wouldn't be right since this is my project. I'll just ask him to bring a couple of the smaller items. When I bring up my phone to text him, I see that Natsuki has texted me again. It's stressful trying to interpret her messages, but I see that she has suggested a location to the mall to meet and says, we'll go from there. I'm not sure why she felt the need to say that using multiple messages, when one would have sufficed. But her plan seems sound, so I agree. I then let Midas know which items to buy for our project. A big part of me would prefer the simplicity of staying home, reading like I usually do, but I remind myself of how important this is. I need to prove that I can handle myself in a social situation. In the meantime, some tea would do nicely to keep calm, or to help keep calm. My parents are reading at the kitchen table when I come in. Hi Mom, hi Dad. I'm a little surprised with myself. I don't even know what made me speak to them just now. But now they're looking at me, I feel compelled to continue. I'm going to be spending time with friends this weekend. I smile, feeling pleased with myself. I'll be meeting Natsuki for lunch tomorrow, and on Sunday I'll be spending the day with Midas' house. He's the new boy in the literature club. There's an awkward pause. I don't even know what I expected them to say. I'm starting to think that I should get my tea and leave. I see. Well, I suppose we knew this was coming someday. My mom glances at my dad, who is still looking at his book. Oh my god. You gotta be freaking kidding me, Mom. Really? He's just a friend. Be sure to use a condom. No, it's not what... I don't care what he says, it's for your protection. She gives me a tight-lipped smile. My dad is still determinedly focusing on his book. He's looking very red. But on the plus side, at least our parents are open if we have sex. Very well. In a daze, I wander back upstairs to the bathroom. I realize I forgot my tea, but I don't think I can face my parents right now. I look myself up and down in the mirror. No, Midas wouldn't be interested me in that way, right? I'm too undesirable. My parents just have the wrong idea, that's all. We're friends. We're just friends. I nod to myself in the mirror. It would be silly to suggest anything like that could happen. We're going to have a good time together, but not that good. We're going to have a good time. Yes, I allow myself to feel excited about the prospect of spending time with friends again. I believe I'm as prepared as I could possibly be for what looks like it would be the most interesting weekend of my life.